Hello. This is from now. This is from. This is a calendar. When I worked as a custodian, where do the most people live? This list shows the top 10 most populated countries in the world in 2005. Country: China, 1,306,000,000. India, 1,080,000,000. And then it's the United States, 295 million. Then it's Indonesia, 241 million. Then Brazil, 186 million. Pakistan, 162 million. Bangladesh, 144 million. But I think they used to belong to India. So it would add up to 1.5 billion or what? 1.5 billion if we add Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India. It would still be second place to China. Russia, 143 million. Nigeria, 128 million. Japan, 127 million. Wow. Where's Canada in this thing? Or what other country? I did hear that Australia had more sheep than people. This was from factmonster.com. Interesting stuff. Alright, so raising confident children. This is from Helping Hands. Copyright 1993, the Bureau for At-Risk Youth. 1-800-99-YOUTH. Success in school, career, and relationships is directly related to one's feelings of self-worth. Youngsters who do not feel good about themselves behave in ways that show their lack of confidence. That's why I like the dog whisperer. It tells you to have a silent, assertive energy. Children that lack confidence, right? They tend to have more school problems, including truancy and dropping out. Now, I would have dropped out at 16, but I didn't know I could. So, I mean, who wants to go be chased after school every day, These children are more likely to indulge in at-risk behaviors such as smoking and using drugs or alcohol. Well, drugs, I let's see. I didn't see the benefit of it. Because the drugs back then were, I think it's called weed and pot, and I think that's marijuana. And, well, I don't like smoking. My grandma used to smoke. My grandpa used to smoke. My mother used to smoke. One of my brothers used to smoke. Alcohol, it's not like someone gives you wine when you're a teenager. Oh, here, have a bottle of wine. They don't do that because, well, who's that gift? Who's that polite? And they are more influenced by negative peer pressure. Well, I had zero peer pressure. I had zero friends. Oh, let's see. Confident children feel good about themselves and others. That is true. They approach new experiences, tasks, opportunities, and relationships in a positive way. They are generally more motivated, more responsible, and more successful at whatever they attempt. Yes, I remember the guys that were just 2 years older, but we looked up to them, or I did, because, well, they worked in the same pizzeria, but they could make a pizza. Whereas I was never inspired to start making dough and making a pizza and cooking and stuff like that. It's just like, alright, I had a feeling that it was all for women, but they were all men. The only two women were on the phone answering the telephone. So, more motivated, more responsible, more successful at whatever they attempt. So, here it goes to the next excellent tip. Do's and don'ts for raising confident children. Alright, the do. Alright, the don'ts are on the other side. Let children know they are loved, accepted, and respected. Make sure the verbal and nonverbal messages you give children about their self-worth are positive ones. Help children practice and get better at making decisions, learning from mistakes, and trying out new skills. It's true. I always knew that if you had skills, like Frank, his dad was a carpenter. This guy had skills. And the other one, I later found out he was a Puerto Rican. Man, he was building stairs from the second floor to the first floor with his dad. I don't even know how they would do that. I mean, I don't know if they sell you how. That's a semi-truck length piece of wood. They must have used several pieces and connected them somehow. I haven't learned how to connect wood like this, like in a staircase, all the way from up on top. You open the door up on top, you look down, boy. What was his name? Ramon. And then he had muscles too, and I think he didn't exercise. I think he just had muscles. But he must have exercised. This is when I saw him years later. I'm like, hey. But the thing is, when you have a dad, you're supposed to help him do something. However, I used to look and I said, well, who's going to teach me? You know, and I wanted to go over there, but Ramon is always busy with his dad. He doesn't even have time to play. Alright. Let children know they are loved, accepted, and respected. How do I do that? Oh, with the boy it's easy. I talk to him. That's how I show love. Because when I was a kid, the adults didn't talk to me. My grandma used to sing. Alright, finally I memorized some Christian songs, right? Demos gracias al Señor, demos gracias al Señor. This is on the way to school. Alright, help children Practice and get better at making decisions, learning from mistakes, and trying out new skills. Praise accomplishments. Catch your children doing something right and tell them. I remember when I played tennis with my son, I used to say, "Excelente! Well done!" And all he did was hit the ball. Whether he hit it back to me on the tennis court or if it went just straight up in the air, anywhere. He was 4 years old. And I just kept praising him. Now I don't use praise anymore. What I do is I say thank you. Because otherwise they'll become a praise junkie. But when he was 4 years old, you could cheer him. You could be his cheerleader. One time, there was a guy in a tournament fighting. And so, he was doing all right. But then I found out that the guy he was sparring against, he had a whole team of people shouting for him. Yeah. So I'm a spectator, but I began yelling, "You can do it, Jose! You can do it! There you go! He's getting tired, Jose!" When Jose finished, he's told me, "There's no way I would have lasted. When you said he was getting tired, I was exhausted," he said. And you started saying that he was getting tired. Oh, and that guy was tough. But that's one time that I cheered for the opposing team. And if I had been in there, both of them could have easily defeated me. Boy. Here it says, praise accomplishments. Catch your children doing something right and tell them. Now, I did do that with the barbecue. I said thank you. I think I did. Show appreciation for your children whenever possible. It doesn't give you an example, you know. Appreciate you. Provide opportunities for success. Confidence about small successes leads to bigger successes. That is true. My son and I made pancakes for about 3 weeks, 3 Saturdays. And to this day, I still need to read the box and probably ask a few questions. And actually, I got him to tell me what was I supposed to do next, because I haven't memorized the steps yet. Here, provide opportunities for success. Confidence about small successes leads to bigger successes. So yes, he has his confidence from martial arts, and then he has his confidence from being able to hit a baseball, a tennis ball. I don't like real baseballs. They're dangerous. They're weapons. But a tennis ball, it will hurt you, but not as much as nowhere near as much as a baseball. Do recognize and acknowledge each child's individuality and uniqueness. Oh boy, this was rough. If you have more than one children, sometimes you get along with one more than the other, because one of them is more like you than the other. Alright, let me do a part 2 on the next one. The don't do this with your children. Enjoy your life, be better than I am. And I do enjoy reading these things. However, we go to places, we pick up a brochure, and then we read it, but we don't really digest it. And with this video, I'll be able to digest it, because believe it or not, I listen to these videos I make for my own, making sure I don't say anything too dangerous. but I always want to make sure that I give you, my listeners, good advice. Talk to you later.